Hey, welcome back. Over the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to solve something that sounded simple on paper, but ended up being a bit more complicated than I expected. I wanted to build a world that could generate itself. One of the main reasons why I like coding is because it's just problem solving. You have an idea, it sounds cool in your head, and then reality hits you with, okay, but how? So the problem I wanted to solve in this project was simple. I wanted a world that generates itself. Different biomes, infinite size. As you move forward, the world expands and the land behind you disappears. It's like that one Rick and Morty episode where they're stuck in the simulation and then it just keeps looping forward like a treadmill. Except instead of a joke, I'm trying to actually build it. So the question becomes, how do you make something that feels infinite without completely destroying your computer? So before touching my main project, I knew I had to learn the tool. I needed to understand Unreal's PCG, or procedurally generated terrain system. If I'm going to generate the world, I should probably understand how the system is built and can generate the world. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. After a bit of reading and experimenting and breaking things and unbreaking things, it eventually clicked. At a simple level, PCG works like this: you define an area, you generate points in that area, and then you spawn assets on those points based on the rules. It's controlled randomness. You can control the density, the asset selection, the probability weighting, the filters like slope, height, and position, and then that's it. It's pretty easy. And then I learned that you should never say something's easy. The real problem was the infinite world logic. PCGs can spawn the trees, but it doesn't make your world infinite. So the bigger problem was, how do I only load what the player can see and unload everything else? I'm not trying to generate an entire planet at once, so I broke it down. First, I needed to find the player's world position. Step 2 was then to convert that into a 2D chunk coordinate system. And then step 3 was to define which chunks are active around the player. If a chunk is within range, then it spawns it. If it's too far away, it destroys it. That alone creates an illusion of infinity. Then I added logic, so each chunk checks, do I already have stored data? If yes, then it loads it. If no, then it generates it. Right now, generation is just flat terrain, nothing crazy, because I want the system stable before I make it look good. And once that worked, I could just run in one direction forever, and the world would keep forming. That was the first moment it actually felt like real. So, what was the next step? I'm thinking chunks work, player tracking works, terrain generates, all that's left is the grass and trees. Which sounds simple until you add the biomes. It's not just spawning trees, now it's what biome is in this chunk? How dense should it be? What assets belong here, and how rare should certain props be? So the idea was to use a global seed. Each chunk looks at the seed and its position, and from that determines what biome it belongs to. The difference between biomes isn't just visual. Each biome defines asset pools, spawn density, probability weights, and overall environmental composition. Instead of saying this biome has 10 trees, I'm saying this biome favors pine trees at 40%, rocks at 20%, bushes at 30%, and rare props at 10%. It's procedural composition. Once the chunk knows its biome, it assigns the correct PCG setup, and that graph handles scattering and placement. In theory, that should make the world feel seamless. Alright, now here's the weird part. I'm not gonna end up finishing biomes yet. This sounds weird, but I'm actually delaying fully building the biome PCG integration, not because I can't make it, but because Unreal is actively developing its own biome based PCG tools. And if that becomes more standardized mainstream way of doing biome generation inside Unreal, I don't want to spend weeks building a custom system that might get replaced by something cleaner and more integrated in a few updates. So right now I'm mostly focused on chunk logic, world streaming, data structure, and stability, building the foundation. Because if Unreal's built-in biome system becomes the go-to solution, I'd rather plug into that than fight against it. It's not procrastinating, it's strategic waiting. So let's talk about where things stand uh, right now. Currently, the world loads infinitely, chunks activate and deactivate correctly, the structure is there. Biomes are partially conceptual, PCG works in isolation, but the full biome pipeline is still evolving. And honestly, that's part of development. Sometimes the smartest solution isn't building more, it's waiting to see which tool becomes the right one. The whole system started as a simple idea: make the world infinite. But the actual solution is layers of systems working together: chunk management, siege logic, procedural waiting, streamlining performance, and I'm still in the middle of solving it. But that's the part I enjoy, because every system that clicks into place make the world feels less fake and more alive. Anyway, that's where things stand right now. Thanks for watching. If you're into this kind of problem solving dev stuff, stick around. There's a lot more coming.